Hey, we're live.
Oh, we're live. All right, folks. I guess we're live, but we'd like to welcome you to the 2025 Abilities Expo. If you don't know who we are the Epic Collaborative. Epic for many reasons, but first and foremost, we're a group of 13 entrepreneurs, all females, who brought to life 13 amazing products designed to help people with all varying abilities in all areas of their life. And I'm just so excited to have one of these amazing entrepreneurs, inventors, Ms. Janice Chopin with Tausi Brands with me. Janice, we'll talk a little bit about Tausi Brands a little bit later, but as I get to know you, I hear more and more about your background. And I want to ask you about your theater and arts background, because that's pretty impressive. And yeah, tell us about what you got going on or what you were doing.
I was, but a theater of Portland Actors Conservatory, ran a school for actors training. Loved it. Got to go to plays all the time. The students are amazing. There's some students and some movies right now that are killing it across the nation. So I love my theater and my arts background. I also work with film and television in the state of Oregon. And now I'm being an inventor and putting my theater trying to be like, oh, do you want to become?
I want to say, as somebody who has the honor and luxury of getting to work with you behind the scenes, not only are you an awesome theater and arts person, it doesn't surprise me to hear that some of your mentees are now doing big things in the space. But you also have worked in the nonprofit space, and as somebody who focuses on building community through fundraising and awareness, you've been a mentor to me in so many regards in helping build Hell Auctions. So if you don't mind, let's talk a little bit about your work in the nonprofit space.
Sure, nonprofit is my life. I love being able to help others. And I know that sounds great, but helping others really is what this world is all about. It's like, what are we if we're not helping each other? And so when a nonprofit asks for help, you say yes. Period. Period. It's like with the hand held auction. You need a sponsor, say yes and help out. Try and Chris to do your auction because he's amazing. And I just think that that's what you're doing. You're all part and you put everything into it. And with nonprofits, you're doing everything. You're wearing every hat possible. From executive director to janitor. You're never saying no to a task. And that's what you do.
Well, not about me, it's about all of us here at the 2025 Abilities Expo, and especially about Booth 1001, the Epic Collaborative. If you don't know what Tausi is, I want to encourage and ask you to stop on over to the booth to my right, have a quick connection with Janice. I'm sure she'd be glad to answer any questions or give any demonstration. And if I could just give a shameless plug, you were so kind to donate a Tausi to me, if you will, and send it to my house last year. And it got confiscated. My stepmother stole it from me. She liked it so much. So really quick, what is Tausi all about? What brought this idea to mind, and what is it designed to do?
Tausi is the reinvention of the pillowcase. It supports your head and neck when you're sleeping or hanging out watching TV. For back support, head support, on the plane, for travel. So it's a pillowcase that augments the pillow you already love to be more comfortable. So check it where you need it, because everybody deserves to be comfortable.
That's right. Well, everybody does deserve to be comfortable. And Janice, I'm extremely comfortable with you always. And thank you for all you do. And thank you for bringing Tausi to life.
Hey, we're still live.
We're staying live.
We're staying
We're
live.
live on Instagram and LinkedIn and YouTube and all the things, I guess. But if you don't know who we are, we're Epic Collaborative. We're a group of 13 amazing entrepreneurs, all female led. Their inventions are to booth to my right, 1001. So stop on by. All of our inventors are on site to answer questions and give demonstrations. So I highly encourage you to do that. If you're interested in winning some of those prizes, fill out a raffle ticket to my left. At 1 o'clock, we're going to be giving away gift cards and some of these products, of course. If product demonstrations and reviews are what you're into, we're doing those throughout the course of the day as well. And we're so excited to have YouTube sensation Cindy and Christina with the Adaptive Equipment Corner on site. If you don't know who they are, you might be under a rock. I'm just kidding. They're absolutely amazing when it comes to reviewing products in our space. And you can follow and like their content on YouTube at AE Corner. Not only do they review our 13 products from the Epic Collaborative, but they also review various products throughout the year, helping to better the lives of yourself and your loved ones. And one of those products, and one of our amazing inventors that I've been speaking about within the Epic Collaborative, Miss Suzanne with Cloud9 Care is going to come on stage with me a little bit. And Suzanne, it's been so cool for me. You and I have been the closest in proximity this weekend. And I've gotten to see your amazing invention information. And and what it's all about and how people are just so drawn to what it can do for their life. So if you don't mind, let's talk a little bit about Cloud9 here, how you came up with this invention and what it's designed to do.
Hi, so well, I'm a nurse. Anyway, I'm a nurse, and I have mostly worked in intensive care, be it pediatric or neonatal, mostly, but also I've done PR. So when I came up with this invention when I was taking care of my aunt in home hospice. She was dying of cancer. When she got to the point where she was totally immobile, pretty much immobile, she got pressure sores really quickly. So that was 7 years ago. I designed something to relieve her pressure, to increase her comfort, to help caregivers to reposition people just for comfort, support, and repositioning alignment news. And so I've developing it over the years, and I need to be talking to you. And I'm new to this. I'm a new entrepreneur. I'm not a business person. I'm a nurse, and I just like to help make people comfortable. So yeah, I'm tweaking things. I'm getting different models right now. My website is just breaking out, and yeah. So there we go. It's in trial and it's working for people. I'm happy for that.
Well, it is absolutely working. And as I said, as I get to see you interact with people and patrons here at the Abilities Expo 2025, you can just see their eyes light up, the light bulb click in their head and say, oh my God, I can use this, right? And I don't want you to think you're just a nurse. What you do is so important. And being an entrepreneur and using that experience in the lives of others is what the Epic Collaborative is all about. And that's why I'm so happy to support each and every one of you. Certainly, when I see knowing what my grandparents, when they were alive, went through, my grandmother having dementia, was bedridden at times, and she was in a home and she had sores. And I can only imagine what a product like Cloud9 Care would have done to better her life. And so I wish I knew that a few years ago, but I'm glad I know you now. And Suzanne, just keep doing what you're doing. And I'm just so honored to be here with you today. Thanks. All right, who's next? Rifling through which member of the Epic Collaborative wants to come on over and bring to light their product. We would love just to talk about all the 13 things we have going on. And again, if you don't know who we are, we're the Epic Collaborative. We're booth 1001 at the 2025 Abilities Expo here in Chicago. Well, Schaumburg for that matter. I'm a Chicagoan, and we get upset when people say we're going to Chicago, but you're really going to the suburbs. So we'll say we're at the 2025 Abilities Expo in Schaumburg, Illinois, here at the Schaumburg Convention Center. And it's just been a highlight of my year so far to be here, not only with the amazing entrepreneurs we have at the Epic Collaborative, but to meet some of the patrons and some of the attendees has just changed my life, frankly, so many ways. And I know we're getting ready to highlight another amazing product, the mobility towel. But Kathleen, before you come up, go get one of them. Go get one of your products. I mean, we need the mic, and I'll just keep talking because I want folks to know who we are. If you don't know, the Epic Collaborative is a group of 13 amazing entrepreneurs who happen to all be female, for that matter, and they've designed through their experience in the healthcare system 13 amazing products designed to help individuals of all abilities in all areas of their life, whether it be writing or bathroom or kitchen. We have so many aids on hand here today to display and demonstrate. And one of them is about to come on stage with me. So Kathleen, come on up. If you don't know about Mobility Towel, Kathleen's going to tell us about her invention. But before we do that, I want folks to get to know who you are, Kathleen. So you and I have hit it off admittedly over the weekend. You have been in higher education and me having some experience in college athletics. You just have really inspired me not only to your work with Mobility Towel, but the work you did as the dean of students. So if you don't mind, tell folks a little bit about that work before we get into the product.
I've had the privilege of working in higher ed for over 35 years, working with students on a daily basis and walking that journey with them at a time when they're vulnerable and finding themselves. And it's just been an honor and a pleasure, and gotten to see the students at their best and at their worst, and love walking that journey with them.
the word vulnerable, and that comes to mind when I think about this community here at the Abilities Expo. The vulnerability exhibited and on display is just, again, so heartwarming and fulfilling. And I've met so many great people like yourself in this community that have really shaped my perspective. And it's just so inspiring to see that there's entrepreneurs and inventors like yourself who are creative enough to think of products like you're going to discuss here, the mobility towel. So before we get into what the mobility towel does, why did you come up with it? How was it created?
So I created a mobility towel for my mom. I speak about vulnerability. She asked me one day if I would help her dry off after she got out of the shower. And of course, I'd do anything for my mom, but I couldn't imagine if that would be having to have somebody dry me off. And so I wanted to find a way for her to dry herself off independently and be able to do it too on her own time. You know, you get up in the morning, I get up in the morning, it's like, get a cup of coffee today, or then I'm going to go shower. And you get to do it on your own time. But she had to wait for somebody else to help. And so, anyway, finding a way for her to maintain her dignity and independence is why I like the towel.
Dignity and independence, as I'm learning, is instrumental in the ability community, right? Allowing people to express themselves, allowing people to care for themselves as best as possible is so integral for not only their physical health, but their mental health. And so the mobility towel, as I'm learning and having an athletic background, not only is it great in the ability community, we'll talk about the sports world later, but talk about your product, talk about mobility towel. What is it all about? What it's designed to do?
So it's a very simple modified towel with weights in the corners. And it's the weights that allow the towel to make close contact with the skin. So one can stand or sit, drape the towel over their leg. The weights keep it tight to the skin. They pull it up. They don't have to bend or reach or strain at all to dry their legs. They rub their feet over the bottom of the weight and dry in between their toes the hard to reach place to begin with. Then for the back, as long as somebody has used one arm, just simply drape the towel over your back. Pull up. Again, the weights are what keep it tight to the skin to make it easy dry, effective dry. When you're done, just throw the towel in the washer and dryer like any other towel.
Very simple, but very needed. And not only is it productive and influential and necessary, as you said, in the ability community, but you and I connected a little bit about baseball, and you had a conversation with an athlete who happened to have some sort of surgery. So I want you to talk about not only is it relevant to where we're at today, but how else can this be used for other folks?
I think when we think about a product like this, you think about permanent disability. And what I found is I tapped other people. I gave them the towel, as I said, for my mom with rheumatoid arthritis. That when I would talk to people, they would say, "Oh, I could have used that. My grandma had abdominal surgery and couldn't bend over. My brother had rotator cuff surgery, couldn't use his arm to dry his back." And so there have been so many different use cases that I have found. So open heart surgery, neck injury, back injury, vertigo, MS, Parkinson's. So this goes on and on. And every time I talk to somebody, there's something new that I hadn't even thought of.
Well, that's because this is a very needed product, and you should be very proud of what you brought. And again, we're just so excited to be a part of the Epic Collaborative, having Mobility Towel with us. And Kathy, thank you so much for all you do. And I want to let you get back to the booth because you guys are demonstrating your product to some other people. So thank you so much. Thank you. All right, folks, if you don't know, we're the Epic Collaborative. We are booth 1001. We're a group of 13 amazing female entrepreneurs who have brought to life 13 amazing products designed to help people of all various abilities in all areas of life. So I want to invite and encourage you to come on over again to the booth to my right, 1001. All of our inventors are happy to demonstrate and answer any questions about the products you may have. And speaking of their products, if you're so kind and interested, we'd love for you to fill out our raffle. We're giving products and gift cards away all day. Our first drawing will be at 1 o'clock, and maybe you could win a mobility towel. I don't know if we're giving one away, but we should. But nevertheless, please fill out a raffle ticket. At 1 o'clock, we'll be drawing names. We'll be giving stuff away courtesy of the Epic Collaborative, booth 1001, here at the 2025 Abilities Expo in Schaumburg, Illinois. If you don't know who I am, I'm Chris Balzewski with Hail Hail Auctions. not only do I create awareness and raise money for community building organizations, but I'm happy to MC great events like the Abilities Expo and work with organizations like the Epic Collaborative. And speaking of the Epic Collaborative, we have Miss Adrian coming on up. No, we're not. Oh, no. Oh my gosh, she has the wrong tag. That's okay. Well,
It's okay, beautiful.
that's all right. We don't care. Take that tag on up.
You're fine. You're fine.
Faith, right? Faith.
Sorry.
Faith. Okay, Faith, come. You tricked me, okay? You tricked me, but you know, it's been so exciting to be on site with folks like yourself. You're at the 2025 Abilities Expo, and I know you got body cap in your hand, which for me is just so exciting to see that there's folks like yourself who are so creative and forward thinking, helping people in all areas of life have dignity and have self-sufficiency and do things that are just natural, naturally, if you will. So if you don't mind, talk a little about who you are first. We want to get to know you, Faith. Who are you and where you're from and what you're all about?
I'm Faith Pryor. I'm from Tennessee. I've been a physical therapist for 47 years. And next Saturday, I'll be celebrating my 70th birthday.
70. Well, happy birthday to you. We'll sing later, I promise.
And my goal, as far as body cap is concerned, is to make this the #1 urinal for women in hospitals, healthcare settings, assisted living, and in all modes of health settings. Because I want women to feel that they can be safe to use the bathroom.
Absolutely. And using the bathroom is essential, of course, in many, for all of us, frankly. But if you don't mind, talk a little bit more in depth. What is body cap? How does it work? How will people use it? Let folks know so that when they go to the aecsuperstore.com to purchase it, they're already aware of what they can do for them.
Do I need to demonstrate it without putting my pants down?
Whatever you need to do, I'm here to help. Yeah, let's get Faye a chair.
Body cap was designed for the way women normally urinate. We normally sit and we let it out. Here we go.
Just let it out. How about that? Simple, but so needed, right? Simple, but so needed. I could only imagine being a man. I wouldn't know how it feels to sit to urinate, but I do sit to use other areas of the restroom. And the comfort level, I've sat on this. It's not cumbersome. It's not intrusive. It's not painful. It's very comfortable and natural. So talk a little bit about the design process and how you had to go through to make sure that this was exactly what you wanted.
Okay. Well, in 2006, I was helping a patient off of a bedpan, and she said I spilled it. I said she spilled it.
It's spilled nonetheless.
As I was cleaning her up, she said, "You all should make something that a woman can use besides laying on their back on a bedpan." As I was cleaning her up and getting her seated on the side of the bed, and her friend came in with a baseball cap, I looked at it, went to my office, got a baseball cap. I asked Miss White, but she said I could use her name. I said, if you had to use the bathroom in this baseball cap, how would you do it? She flattened the ground, slid it under her, and said, "Do you want me to?" And I said, "Not yet." That was in 2006. In 2021, we sold our very first one. About 6 different prototypes and engineers. We worked a method in which it's at an angle in which if you sit to the edge of the chair, the urine goes right into the hole like it's a ball, like a pool ball.
Unbelievable and so creative. Who would have thought a baseball cap would have led to this? And that just goes to show how creative you are and how caring you are. And as a caregiver, and as I'm getting to meet the many caregivers throughout the 2025 Abilities Expo, that's what I'm learning. You're taking lived experience and doing something about it. You didn't just dismiss her need. You didn't just walk away and say, well, that's the way it goes. You said, let me fix that problem. And here we are.
I did sound for about 10 years. I told my mom about it. When my mom was going to the bathroom in 2016, she fell and fractured her shoulder. At her gravesite, my legal commitment was, "Mom, I'm going to complete the potty cap." So I did not want to see another mom go through what my mom went through when I knew there was a possibility of something out there to save her. So that's my passion. My passion is that I don't want to see another woman dying because they want to urinate.
Unbelievable. That just gave me chills, Faye. So thank you so much. And thank you for tenacity and your commitment to potty cap. And if you want to take home a potty cap, Go see Faye at booth 1001 with the Epic Collaborative. If you don't want to carry it home, that's okay because we have a superstore, aecsuperstore.com, where you can purchase one of these amazing items and take it. It will be shipped to you, frankly, right? So go to aecsuperstore.com. But if you're here today at the Abilities Expo, we want to send you over to booth 1001, see Faye, and she'll be happy to give you a demonstration and any more explanation about Body Cap. Faye, you're amazing. Thank you so much. All right, we're looking for another member of the Epic Collaborative to come on stage and discuss what it is they've brought to the world to better the lives of others. And as you're making your way into the 2025 Abilities Expo here in Schaumburg, Illinois, we would love to welcome you and invite you on over to booth 1001. As I said, we're the Epic Collaborative. Epic for many reasons, but first off, if you don't know, we're a group of 13 amazing entrepreneurs who happen all to be females, who've designed through lived experiences as caregivers or family members, amazing products, enabling the lives of others of all abilities and all areas of life. So if you're walking on by, stop on by booth 1001, check out all the amazing products that we have to offer. If you don't know who I am, I'm Chris Malazewski with Hail Hail Auctions. Not only do I raise money, but I raise awareness. And that's why I'm so happy to be here today, working with Epic Collaborative, raising awareness for not only these amazing ladies, but this amazing community. Being a part of this community over the last 3 days has inspired me to great lengths, and it just uplifted my heart and filled my soul. And I've gotten to meet so many people who are doing so many wonderful things in this space, bettering the lives of others. And speaking of bettering the lives of others, I think we're going to bring up Miss Lisa from Seni. Is that right? So Lisa, let's get you mic'd up. Come, we want to go grab a product? You want to go grab a product? Let's go. I'll keep talking. I'm good at that. I'm not good at much, but I could talk. So again, my name is Chris Malazewski. I'm here with Epic Collaborative with 1001 at the Abilities Expo 2025 in Schaumburg, Illinois. The Epic Collaborative is a group of 13 amazing entrepreneurs with 13 amazing products to discuss and demonstrate. So stop on over booth 1001. Lisa, you got a Seni, so coming up. So first off, how are you doing? I'm so glad to see you. So Lisa, as I've been saying, being here this weekend has just made me full of joy, full of hope, inspired on many levels. So before I ask you about Seni, I want to get to know you a little bit better. So tell us about Lisa. That's not a tough question. Come on, you should know Lisa. So where you from? What do you do? How did this come to be? And then we'll talk about Seni.
I single mom. I have 2 boys at home. I have 2 dogs that we love. I started with Seni back in October, and I love it. It's very rewarding. I love helping people. It's pretty amazing to hear their comments when they deal with incontinence and things like that in the morning and behind. It's great rewarding.
Absolutely. And that's what the Epic Collaborative is all about, is fulfilling the lives of others through various products, uplifting them, helping them have dignity, helping them have just go through life as naturally and as best as possible. And I know that's what Seni does. So what is Seni, if you don't mind?
So Seni is an incontinence product. We sell pull-ups, creams, pads, and the biggest difference of our product is the customer dry when they use our product. There's moisture away from their skin, provides great skin health, so it eliminates skin issues and also can get them from having with the product. It allows them to sleep through the night without leaking, so they can get them dry in the morning. It gives them the ability to go outside and be in public and not be worried about having issues happening. All around wonderful health, allows them to sleep through the night, so they wake up rested in the morning. Tons and tons of benefits.
There's many uses for all of our products, but certainly Seni, right? And someone who's so fortunate like myself to not yet need a product like this. I say yet because we don't know what our future holds, right? It very well may be that I need a product like Seni. And so that's why it just fulfills my heart, fills me with joy to know that as I age or as that things may change for me at any age, frankly, that there's people like yourself, there's products like this in the world. So how can somebody get a hold of one of these if they don't want to check us out at the booth or go to our ABC Superstore?
They can use our QR code.
Scan that QR.
They can scan the QR code. They can go on SeniUSA.com.
That's it. So again, check out Seni. We're at booth 1001. We're the Epic Collaborative. We're a group of 13 amazing people, one of which, Lisa, it's been so nice to get to know you and to see what you're doing. And it's just been so fulfilling to see. You gotta head it back over there because there's a ton of people asking. Busy. We've been one of the busiest booths of all. So it's just been so inspiring to see people who are here in attendance as patrons or looky-loos or whatever you want to call them, as they start to interact with some of our entrepreneurs. Their eyes light up like the brightest light bulb there ever was. You could just sense and see in their minds how they can visualize themselves using our products, how they can benefit their lives. And I'm just seeing people come away in droves with some of our things, if you will. And speaking of one of our 13 things, I think we have another product coming up. I don't know who it is. Who's coming up? Oh, Celine, are you coming? All right, Celine. All right, Celine is coming on up with, how do we say this? Skirtage. Okay, forgive me. I'm sorry. So Celine, we need to mic you up. Let's go grab that mic. So Celine with Skirtage is coming up. And Celine, it's been so exciting to see all the folks here, but I'm excited about this for many, many reasons. Um, as somebody who, if you don't know, I worked in Parks and Recs for 10 years. And the SRAs, the Special Recreation Associations, have been great partners of mine throughout my career. And we're being told to move over. Awesome. So, nevertheless, just seeing folks use your tool, how it can be better their lives in all areas, not just writing. But first, before we hear more about Spirit, I want to hear about you. So tell us a little about Celine. How did you come up with this? What is it all about? And what are your passions?
Well, I'm a physical therapist, and for probably more than 40 years, I've been the person to have disabilities primarily in the pediatric world. But the interesting thing about your needs patients, they grow up and become adults, and now I have patients in their 40s who have families of their own and are in wheelchairs and, very successful with their disabilities. And my passion and my partner who helps promote better of the functional end. Our passion is always just about that kids should be able to participate in what they love. So we wanted to create something that allowed them to continue to participate, over their lifespan, whether it be to write and access their computer or their iPhone, whether we've got clients who use our tools like crochet, whether they like to cook, paint, draw, or whatever. So our biggest thing was we just wanted to create something that would change lives and make a difference and allow people to participate.
That is exactly what it's doing. I can only imagine as technology advances, that's the right word, stylists become more imperative in life, right? Having a tool like this to keep up with technology, regardless of your ability, is so dignifying, so empowering. So talk to us a little bit about how you came up with this design. What were the prototypes? What were your original intentions? Where did it come from?
Well, my Tony privilege as an occupational therapist, as I said, I'm a physical therapist. So we do a lot of coaching. So I'm the person who's in charge to make sure their alignment of posture is really great. And then I'd be the person who could make sure that whatever the activity or children's occupation, right, is play, was fun and engaging in order to get them moving and engaging and being able to use their body to get strong and independent. So for years, my family have been take and invent these old plastic or everything she wanted to put in a child or an adult's hand. She had to make one-offs of these. But also my husband was an orthotist who, worked in high temperature plastics, making orthotics. So then when we find one mark, we say, hey, which one of these for us? Because, that at least was same as the little time. And it's a little cheap. It's kind of dumb. Shouldn't we be able to create one tool that will hold a variety of objects? What this is referred to in the therapy world is universal trusts. But most universal trusts are universal. They hold one thing, a spoon, a fork, a hairbrush. But ours can hold anything in the vertical or the horizontal, and we can hold anything as small as a tree, as large as a water bottle. So our most exciting thing is just come up with the vision. So I brought it up. And now we are able to move on into the early intervention world. So we know too that when a child develops literacy, it's their first scribble, and that scribble represents something, right? And that scribble turns into a drawing, and those drawings turns into words. And all of that's happening in that early childhood, preschool age, contributes to that whole idea of literacy and reading and writing and understanding. So now we've been successful with our larger size to adjust them in a process. So we're pretty stoked.
I'm pretty stoked and excited about it. And as we're giving away raffle prizes, we have one of your products here, and folks are so complimentary of the ability that they have to fill out just as something as simple as their own raffle entry, right? And otherwise, if they need assistance and they don't have help on hand, they wouldn't be able to do that, right? And now they're independent. Now they have the ability to write their name, their phone number, their email, all because of like, I mean, it's just so, it makes me so happy. So, you know, one last thing, we're obviously we could be bought on the azsuperstore.com. Where are you guys based out of?
I live in Western Springs, Illinois. Very hours, so I and is still working. She's at 2009. So we're so
Busy. You're busy. And I just know as I see folks interact with all of our entrepreneurs, especially you folks, the light bulb clicks. I know I could use this immediately. It's not even a question of how or when or why. It's I need it now. And so I want to encourage all of you today, if you haven't already, stop on over to booth 1001. We're going to let Celine go on back and talk to some of our patrons because they're waiting to hear from you today. So thank you so very much.
thank you.
All right, folks. Well, once again, we're the Epic Collaborative booth 1001, a group of 13 amazing females to my right who designed 13 amazing products to help all abilities in all areas of your life. So I want to encourage and invite you to stop on over, meet with our entrepreneurs and inventors. They're happy to answer any questions and demonstrate their product. If you want to take one of those products home away for free today, stop and fill out a raffle ticket. At 1 o'clock, we're going to be pulling names, giving gift cards and products away. Most importantly, if you want to take a product home and you haven't won, you certainly can make a purchase on site. Or if you want to have one of our amazing 13 products shipped directly to your home, check out the AEC Superstore at aecsuperstore.com. You're going to be able to take one or all of our products home for that matter. Throughout the course of the day, we're going to be doing demonstrations and reviews on site here with our YouTube sensations, Cindy and Christina with the Adaptive Equipment Corner. If you don't know who they are amazing individuals providing product reviews year-round on their YouTube channel, AE Corner. They already have hundreds of thousands of followers, but we're hoping to gain more. We're hoping to better the lives of others and share the word about so many amazing products, certainly the 13 within our Epic Collaborative. So folks, once again, we're the Epic Collaborative, booth 1001. It is our honor to be here at the 2025 Abilities Expo in Schaumburg, Illinois. Thank you and have a great day.